Welcome back, family. Lancescurv here. And yes, it's another beautiful day. And I saw the comments that stated, Lance, you're rubbing it in our faces. Not really, but today, maybe. I'm smiling and I am happy within my life. It is a beautiful day, but a beautiful day as far as the weather is concerned means nothing if you don't feel good within. Now, I'm good within. I have no reason to not be good. I'm fully charged. I can't say recharged because I was never worn down in the last few months, years. Sometimes your charge will go down a little bit and you pick it back up if you have your lifestyle set. Now, let me just get straight to the point of what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to be all over the place on this topic. I wanted to speak about how the mindsets of people in general, we don't know what kind of mindset a person has, what's on their mind. And human nature being what it is, especially in this day of social media and lots of what people may think are options, and how their minds are bombarded with the potential to live these lives that they may not live, the extravagant life, or having choices beyond what their commitments deem to be right. Choices as far as different people, romantically, sexually. I'm kind of throwing some things out there, but I'm not going to finish this video until I get it all off of my chest. And I'm going to say it this way. I recently discovered a dear friend of mine who I may not see all the time, but I hold her in high respect and high regard. She's very busy. I'm not going to say her name because if I did, you'd know it, but she is already putting out a lot of information on her situation right now, but it's not my place to just jump on that. If she says it's okay, I'll probably bring her on if she wants to do so and we can speak on it. But I want to speak on the general topic and segue into some other things, because we're going down a path, we're going down a road overall as a society that it's so decadent and fragile. And where do we think we're going with this stuff? After a while, it's time to sit down. Sit your ass down, right? No matter what age you are. This dear friend of mine recently found out that her husband was dealing, okay? Now, dealing is dealing. And what do I mean? You pretty much know what I mean. He had somebody else. But I can't excuse any of it, but my thing is the venom and the cunning and the calculating mind that you have to want to use somebody for their hard work and their resources, especially when they were the ones who were pulling the weight of the relationship greatly, from what I can see. I'm not into anybody's business. But this individual, my friend, is a great catch for any decent man. But there's some people who feel as though they could take advantage and leapfrog from one situation to another. And when you really look at it, they came into the union just looking to use her. It couldn't be anything else. You don't, look, like I said, there's different degrees of this thing. And I can more excuse someone who made a misjudgment and made a physical mistake and bounced off of it, came clean with it. but not to destroy a person, because this is what you're doing. When you make plans with, let me just cut the cheese and cut to the chase. When you marry a woman, make plans with her, plan on building property, making investments, doing different things. That's a very serious thing. And you do all of this to obviously gas her up, to get the use of her resources, while you never really planned on being with this person anyway. And this has been years. So now you get to another country and you show your backside. And this will be how I start this topic off. I'm not going to get into the details. The details are already out there if you follow her work. I don't have permission to say go here and listen, because it's not a spectacle. This is a human heart. This is a woman. And women do things to men too. But because of this topic and because of this situation, we're going to speak about the men who ain't no damn good. And the mindset of people globally. I want to say it like this, and I don't want to say it in a way where I'm putting down a whole country of men and women. But when you deal with people of another culture, even if they look like you, you have to try to figure out how the currency matches up, the exchange rate. Because there are people who culturally will have a different mindset than you and see you in a way that you don't even realize they're seeing you this way. And we're speaking about the men now who use women. We're speaking about the men who live abroad. And I can't say all, because I know some wonderful men who live in different countries. And I'm saying a lot of things between the lines because I live in a different country. Right? But I find that because, and I'm going to step it back to the side, right? I'm going to come back with it. I'm just being very careful in how I choose my words, because I'm going in with surgical precision, and after a while I'm just going to let it flow. And I will be checking my battery, make sure that I have enough juice, and I have another battery I think that I brought up. If not, I'll cut the video and just start all over again, or just continue from where I left off. But we have to understand, and I'm going to speak to American women. When you are coming to visit and or to live, you have to understand that you are viewed a certain way by men who may live in different countries, who value America and value the UK and think that America and the United Kingdom is the epitome, and they will do, some of them, anything to use you to get back to those countries. And they will tell you this is not all foreign men. I live in Ghana, so I'm seeing a lot. That's all I'll say. But there are many men, and again, I'm going to say this the last time, it's not all, but it's a whole lot. And I couldn't tell you the percentage, but I will say go through the procedure of vetting every man that you talk to, or that approaches you, or that you're interested in. Because I've been privy to men reaching out to me to ask me if I know of a good woman from America. And I'm like, why so specific? There's a lot of beautiful young ladies here, right? See, when you have a different culture where you don't have the safety nets of food stamps, welfare, Section 8, free health care, the EBT card, the things that many in America take for granted. Meaning that I've never been on any of those things. But you know that if push comes to shove, the American system has somewhat of a safety net. They're tightening up now, but it's still there. So for the good people that it's meant for, who fall on bad times and need a boost, it's there. There are people who are hustling the system generationally. It's their career. I'm not speaking about those people. The perception in other places is that America has all of this money, and it does. It's like walking a tightrope on a windy day with no safety net, because the economy will, and the bubbles will, collapse. That's cyclical. That's something that happens on a regular basis every few decades. And I think we're on the verge of that. We know that we're on the verge of that. This is why we prepare and change our lifestyles, those of us who have a little sense, because they can see the handwriting on the wall. But in the other countries, they don't see that. In the other countries, when they look at America on social media, they do not see the drug epidemic. They do not see the poverty. They do not see the crime, the mass shootings, how crime is like part of the everyday landscape. I was telling someone who lives here about the crime, and I just focused on New York because that's where I was born and raised, that every day there's somebody killed, if not several people killed in New York for one reason or another. Senseless, or you came home and found your mate cheating, or somebody just wanted to stick you up after you left the ATM. That's the mindset. And so when you live there, you look over your shoulder, and this is other parts of the country also. You look over your shoulder because this can happen, this is reality. But many who are in other countries, who see America to be this great place that they have to go to, that would change their life, and they're gonna just, money's gonna fall out of the sky. And when you are that woman who is visiting here for Daddy December, or just visiting or planning to move over here, even if you plan to move here and you say you're going to live here, a lot of these men in foreign countries, they don't care about that. They will get with you. They will charm you. They'll make you feel so good by the words that they say. And because it's done in a different way, presented a different way, and you think that these men have a different mindset because it's not like the men in America. Men are men. They're going to try to get a little extra something. They're going to try to flirt. They're going to try, right? We know that. But for the American woman, I'll say this. I know the state of relationships for people in America, especially with the targeted black community, but it's also across many different boundaries, racially, economically. I'm speaking this in a generalized way. We know how social media has tried to fan the flames of separation between the black man and the black woman. And this goes in other communities, because it's the whole thing about, I don't need a man, and where'd that come from? We know where that came from. You know, we had welfare coming in, the feminist movement, corporations and companies encouraging black women to apply. So when they do have a black woman hired, they get a minority and they get a woman. So it's two checks off the box of how they deal with the federal government to get their different tax breaks and breaks. So it makes the company look good. We hire black women, we hire minorities. It could be just one person. You know what I mean? So they feel empowered more now on that level. And the man has been made to be, we don't need you. We got money already. And because of the heartache that many women have had to deal with in America, a lot of them are like, when they say now, I can do better by myself. What do I need a man for? Well, a lot of them still want love. A lot of them still want companionship. A lot of them may still want marriage, but in their mind, they've X'd out the American man, the American black man, the American man. The American black man is at the bottom of the barrel, perception-wise. And it's not that bad, but it's put out there. And then you have foreign people who look at Americans and think they're crazy. Some are crazy, yes, but many are not. But those who are looking into America figure because they can see a few social media posts and how people talk with each other, that they actually know what it is like. And they will never know what it's like unless you've lived there many, many years and realize that, especially when you are a foreigner coming from anywhere else, as a person who is melanated, you are going to get treated different by the powers that be there. So you will never understand when people who have had it hard because of a racism that you've never had to deal with, you'll think all of them are crazy until you get your NIGGA or ER wake-up call. But I'm going to swing from there and come back. These same women who, and it doesn't have to be where you have the attitude about not needing a man, but many of these women come to a country that's predominantly black African, and many Africans don't understand about them being black because that's not the experience here. It's about nationality and your tribe. So what are you calling me black for? I'm Ghanaian, or and they're Nigerian, but they're black. See, the enemy looks at all of us the same. But when they know that you worship his skin, they'll put you a little higher in his system than the person who knows a deal about their dirty deeds. You can't erase history. So these women will come to, say, a black African country, depending on which one it is. And because they see a man talking to them this way, well-built, intelligent, more or less, they're more receptive to these men. And not all men are catchers that are in other countries, but it's a different vibration. And you're seeing the beautiful country, and it's laid back, and your radar is not made for the next place because you haven't lived there long enough. So you're filling in the blanks with bliss and joy, and don't let it get to be where the intimacies happen. I know that sounds kind of quick, but it happens, and if it takes time or oh, your mind is blown. Why? Because it's almost like when women in America say, and it's a certain pedigree of women will say, ain't nothing like that jail, D-I-C-K. You've heard people say this before, I'm quite sure. But when it comes to jail dick, let's talk about that. These brothers are looking for a place to live, so they're gonna put it down. They're looking for a woman to take care of them, so they're gonna put it down. They're gonna make sure to last long. They've been working out in shape in jail. The government takes care of their teeth. The teeth look good. They just got a record. So it blows your mind. And so there's something in women back in America who fall in love with the jail dick. I'm all over the place, but I'm coming with it, y'all. The extra added attraction to that is she is in control. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a place to live. I'm enjoying, and this is all warped, the physical benefits. But I'm in control, baby. So he ain't gonna hurt me. he ain't gonna use me because I can kick him to the curb anytime. Now, the American women who come to these foreign countries don't actually think that way because it's a different flow and there's so many different dynamics that you have not realized yet or absorbed or picked up on. You're not dumb. So you see someone who looks just as good and looks like somebody who could be walking down the street in your neighborhood, except they have a different culture, a different mindset, a different way of thinking. So this is their shot for the ones who are crooked, who want to use you. This is their shot. Wow. I always dreamed of going to America. I want to go to America. That is the place that I want to go to, because many who were born elsewhere the upbringing didn't say where you are is bad, but in the school system, everything points outward. The answer is outside. While Chinese, Lebanese, Turkish, UK folks, and many white Americans overall will come to these countries and make lots of money. But many who were brought up in a common way were never made to see the advantages of where they live because of the hand-to-mouth society and system that's here. There is no help. You're not getting any food stamps. You hungry, you starve. You don't hustle, you're not gonna get anything. So it's a different mindset. I can't say desperation, but it can go on to that point. You have women here who would never walk the streets. And what I mean by that is walking the streets to sell your body, to get money. But many, if nobody's looking, and you're flirting with them, and you say, come over here, I want to see you tonight. What you doing later on? Oh, I'm not doing anything later on, but now this is how you know the money comes into play. I'm not doing anything later on, but I'm just out here looking to get some money to pay my child's school fees. In other words, I can spend time with you, and you know what it is when the man says he wants to spend time. Come on, you're not dumb. You put that out there, that your mission is to get the school fees for your son or your daughter. And if he picks up on that and he's willing to, it's like, well, how much are your school fees? You know, come on over, I'll take care of that. Because he sees that banging body. That even though this young lady might be poor on a scale of what you're used to in America, I just heard thunder. Yep, there's some clouds over there. And this is not going to run me from this video. If I have to take it inside, I'll do it just to continue. But I wanted to get a little sunlight and I wanted to show you some of the background. Right? So now an arrangement is made without saying it. She's not on the corner. She's not saying I'll perform acts on you or let you have my body any which way, but the arrangement is being made. And that's the majority of what you'll see. But when you see them on the outside, they're coming out of church, they have their children, their child, you know, everything looks decent. Oh, that's a decent young lady. I'm not saying she made the decision to be indecent or something's bad with her, but the economy and the lack of opportunities will push you to do things in the gray area. Now, maybe you who are watching as a young lady would say, no, I'll never do that. But just like many in other countries see America and think it's a certain way and say that they would never do things, but if they move there with the stress and the pressure and the supervisor on the job on your back stressing you, the bills are piling up, your man gave you an STD and you're ready to go somebody's head. It's a different kind of stress in these places, and especially when You already know there are not as many opportunities, especially when you're in a different country and don't have the education. You're going to have to now produce elbow grease. You're going to have to get down and do the work, and after a while, with no backup from the government, no backup from anybody, it's like, if he wants to feel up on me a little bit and give me a little money, I'm tired. I think I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to walk the streets. I'm not saying this is a whole entire nation, but the gray area that you know is not the gray area they know, and what they will do and won't do because of the different variables in their society, which is different from America. So going back to the men, it's the same thing. Although many sisters would have their battery operated boyfriend, there ain't nothing like having someone with you that you can hold, and even if it's not a sexual thing at that moment, you hold them, you go to sleep with them, you speak of your fears and your dreams, and you want to make plans with someone, you want to be bonded with someone. And so a lot of American women will come to different places and feel safer because they think the men there are not as calculated because they're presenting themselves a certain way. I'm not saying any particular country of men are satanic or demonic. I'm just saying this goes on everywhere in the world. You have men who are in America who are manipulators and who are real good and slick with the tongue. We're not talking intimately, we're talking about to talk to you and get in your head. And we're made in a certain way as human beings, and so there's always somebody out there who can get our number. I don't mean phone number, has our number. You have a weakness for them. You have this propensity where they could always find a way to get to you where others could never get you this way. We all know that one person, right? And if you don't, you're gonna find out. So here you are, feeling safe in the company of a different kind of man who was raised different, which makes it interesting to you. Like, wow, this is refreshing. And the men keep it simple, but they got their eye on the prize. Your money, that potential citizenship that they can get from you, and they will do whatever they can do to get next to you. I think I told you before on some previous shows that I was approached by 3 different women, not at the same time, different times, because I've been here for 5 years and 3 months. The 16th will make 5 years and 3 months. It's 5 years and 2 weeks or whatever, 2 months and 2 weeks. It's like a prison sentence, but this is not prison. I'm celebrating every day here, but you gotta have your mind right. I was approached by 3 different women casually. 2 that I knew in passing, friendly chat. Hey, how you doing? Everything all right? How's your son? And one who, straight up, I didn't know, but we talked on a bus stop. And before we got, well, van stop. Before we got in the van, after a 15-minute conversation, because the vans kept going by full, so we were standing there for a while. Homegirl asked me, she said, listen, you got children? I said, yes. Do you want some more? I said, I don't want to embarrass any child if they have a high school graduation and the other classmates say, hey, your great-grandfather looks good for his age. No, I'm not going to do that. That was my way of skirting it. No, I'm not. No more. But she made that offer to me. She says, you told me you have somebody, but we'll keep it between me and you. I would love to have it. Don't even know me. Don't even know if I'm a homo or something. I'm not that. I'm just saying, you don't know what's in my bloodstream. You don't know if I'm running away from the law in America. You don't know anything. But you made this offer to me because you said, and this is the woman, I want to go to America one day. And what am I, stupid? I know exactly what this offer was all about. I want to go to America one day and maybe I can have the baby in America. Come on, you want to go there under the old rule, because Trump changed that. You're not coming to America and having no baby and all of a sudden you have the right to stay there. And the other two I half knew and they said the same thing. I had one woman say to me, oh, if I have a baby by you, I will have white baby. White baby? I'm not white. I've got Caucasian in my bloodline on my mother's side. And way back on my father's side. Archibald Sterling. You can look him up. He's a Scottish portrait artist from back in 1600s or 1700s, and his son came to Jamaica. Slavery was a big thing back then. He married one of his slaves, and then that bloodline of Scurvin came down because phonetically they would go by and spell it, and there's about 15, 20 different names that are connected to my last name, Scurvin, but they messed up in the writing. Sterling, Sperling. This Scurvin you could spell with S-K-I-R-V-I-N. We don't know. But I am a black man. And the perception is, because I'm from America and I might have a slightly lighter complexion than most black people, that puts me in a different category. Because even perception-wise, I'm coming back with the point, the other day and several times, people have called to me in the street. You know, you have the guys selling shirts or selling something and they don't know my name. You know what they say? Hey, white man, hey, white man. I understand it. And many will use that are not from the foreign countries because they have an inferiority complex of who they are. And when you speak a certain way and you may have a complexion and you're from America, which is the epitome for many people and still is, they want to go to America. And here I am wanting to leave, and I haven't been there in 5 years, 2 months, and 2 weeks. Haven't even thought about going back. You know, do you turn around and go to the restaurant, the all-you-can-eat restaurant, after you sat there for three hours stuffing your face? Or really 30 minutes after you leave? Come on, let's go back. No, I had my fill of America. Honestly. Just checking my time. There's a thunderstorm over there, and I hope it's not coming over this way. But perception is everything. It's just that many of us don't understand how we are perceived. I tell people, most of us have our own perceptions, and sometimes we need to analyze the reality of a situation or a place or a person or a thing and bust down those perceptions and refashion it to what things really are. How many times have you thought something of a person or a place and you realize, like, wow, it's not really like that? Also, like the analogy I like to use is, when did you realize your favorite food was your favorite food? There was a time that your favorite food that you loved so much, you didn't know that you even liked it until you tried it. So perception is everything. So you always have to expand, keep the good, and get rid of the bad. But now these American women, especially black women who come to black African countries, I'll be more specific, I don't want to say because I live here. Now they're opened up a little more because this man treats them so nice, puts it down in the bedroom so nice, and they're rubbing their face and cooking and doing this and that. And I'm not going to say all, because I know several couples where it's a Ghanaian man and an American woman, and it worked out fine, right? But what you have to watch out for, and this can go if you're an American woman or American man moving to the Philippines or Vietnam or Costa Rica or Brazil, right? So people say, well, it's not just, I know, but I'm speaking of a specific situation, and that's how I started out this video, right? So now you're more open, and because you have your money, and if you're in the age bracket where you are coming here and retired, you know ain't nothing gonna stop that retirement money. You know it has to pass through your hands first, so you're not dependent on no man. If you have the mindset back in America, I don't need a man, well, here you're not depending on it. You build your home, you have your finances, and if you get a man who claims to love you and maybe you marry him, it can't go but so wrong, because you're not going to end up destitute if things don't work out. You're not going to lose your house if you bought it and it's in your name. They will try to get with you and have it put in their name also, but you got to be careful of that, as in any situation. Protect yourself. But you feel empowered. And what a lot of men in other places, they want you to feel empowered, because now they have access to your money. Because if he's not making that much money, but you have a lofty lifestyle, well, he gets to enjoy this lofty lifestyle. And when you want to go back to America, guess what? You're not going to leave him. Maybe you do. But you're going to bring him, and he's so glad, wow, I get to go to America. But if he's using you, he's going to take his sweet time to put himself in position. Because once he gets to America, you think he doesn't see the other women there who are driving nice cars and have nice homes, and he's from somewhere else, and therefore he's safer to most American women who may or may not know he's married at this point. They're not going to volunteer. I heard across social media in various comment sections, I'm not saying this is law, but there are a segment of black women who will prefer the African-born male because they figure they're not going to get the same foolishness as they would with the American-born male. This was a video about Atlanta and dating and down low men that I watched not too long ago. And in the comment section, one woman started it off by saying, this is why I'm not dealing with American black men, because I'll deal with an African man, because, you know, these guys over here might be down low and you don't know it. True. But people don't realize you got that crap out here. Because you have men who may not have the skills, the skill set to make good money, which what you earn here in the same profession as you had in America is far less. You go independent, you have your own business, and you have certain things you can do good. But if you get into the system of, I'm going to go out there and become a police officer, I'm going to go out there. I know security guards in America who make more money than police officers in the country I'm in now. It's not about, oh, I'm going to come out there and get a job. And no, a lot of the folks out here who were born and raised don't have jobs. Certain things are not equivalent. Certain things are not equal, which forces the mindset of the people. Anybody who has come to a country like this, and I'm not saying it that way to put it down, because I'm a citizen and I love it. And I know how to live to receive the good and repel the bad, because I know what I'm looking at. And I understand the exchange system and the exchange rate of energy of people who see me a certain way and will try to put me in a certain position to gain, because it's a hand-to-mouth economy. Even in business, many who, they might be, how can I say it, an independent contractor. Not all, but we've dealt with this. And you think they're trying to build a business relationship from you, and a lot of times they're trying to get all they can from you at one time. Where if they were smart, they'd give you a good price, give you good service, and anybody you know coming from the States, you refer them. But you'll get burnt sometimes, not all the time, because they're only thinking, let me get all of this right now. No, I'm trying to establish a business relationship with you, and they don't understand that. The trust and you know, the history, the work history you have together. So a lot of these men see you as a meal ticket. I could have just said it like that, but I wanted to explain different factions so you can have a more well-rounded view. And I'm not saying everybody's bad or whatever, but the basic mindset is you better get it while you can. And with a lot of these men and women, but this is about the men today, and I'll talk about the women maybe later on, I don't know. Every time I go out in the street, it's like, oh, do you have anybody? Oh, you have someone? Well, listen, here's my number, and nobody has to know. This is not everybody, but it's what I represent. It's not because I'm all that. It's because, oh, he's an American, and he can make moves for me. And if I have to give him a little pleasure to jumpstart that, I'm going to do it. See, that's the way many of them think. And again, you can go to another country that has not much black people, and if the economy is kind of thirsty, a little hungry, it's going to be that way too. But I'm just talking about the situation that I found out about my dear friend. And homeboy was good because, I'm not saying he's good, I'm just saying how he presented himself and his background here was on a higher level in the way I'm like, man, this is a quality dude. I'm glad for the both of you. I've even spoken about just the other day how proud I was of their relationship. And I find this out now. Oh man, unbelievable. So you have to be careful. There are genuinely good people everywhere, and there are rats everywhere. Users, haters, opportunistic people. And also, you will have people who move from other places, America, the Caribbean, Canada, who that side of them comes out. So don't think, oh, we're from the same place or from the same part of the world, so you understand. No, if they're like that, they're like that. You got to be careful with everybody, because a change of location can make you see things and do things that you wouldn't do if you were in the place where you were born, right? And perception. See, I'm aware of how people perceive me. I'm a little shocked sometimes. So you have to not assume that people see you the way you see yourself. I remember, and I'll say it, there was a bodybuilding competition out here. My ankle's itching, so I'm gonna itch it with my other toe. That's what I'm doing right now. And when I was speaking to the fellas, and you know, I was invited there by one of the persons who organized the event, they found out my background. And the other brothers that were in the competition afterwards, oh, we were all standing around talking. And of course, I don't look like that anymore. But when they heard me open my mouth, they knew I had great knowledge of the body and bodybuilding and training. So they were all around me. Just happened. I didn't say, hey, everybody, you know. I had a conversation with one person. He said, hey, man, so and he called another guy. I said, listen to what this guy's saying. I think this, if we try this training technique, it would be better. It's almost like, and I'm not comparing myself in no way to Mike Tyson, like one of the world's greatest fighters, but he's older now. He can beat probably 99% of the people put in front of him out in the street, but he's not a top fighter anymore, but he has the knowledge and the wisdom to teach you certain things. And so I think that's how they took it. And it was only after a certain time that they lost interest in hearing about working out and training and diet and techniques to get yourself to look a certain way. And one of the guys said, hey, he realized this guy's from America. Hey, do you know American? Of course I know a lot of, I know thousands and thousands of American women over the course of my life. What's up? I want you to find me one, because, and see, he didn't have to put up a front and act like he was so holy, but what he said is that I want you to find one for me, because I want to live in America. So wait a second. What is it first? That you want to live in America and find a woman? Or is it that, you want to, what's your real deal? Oh, I want to move there. So now you're telling me that basically you want to find a woman to use to get over there. And then you're not about finding someone who you care for. You could have found someone here. But many times it's about the opportunity that comes with that woman. And American women, these guys will gas you up. I mean, men have different preferences. You could be what the world would say obese. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're not a sweet person. But pretty much they might not put you on the cover of a magazine that features supermodels, right? But when you come here, as soon as you hit that airport and they see you by yourself or see you with somebody who looks like you, oh, that's her brother. So the cab drivers that are there, they get first dibs. You're first there, you're shocked, you look around. Oh, welcome home, welcome home. You are a beautiful woman. Oh my God, I'm going to keep you here and treat you like the queen that you are. Nobody will treat you like me. I'll drink your bath water, that type of thing. And maybe a woman who's not used to hearing this or thinks that what treatment they were getting in America when they did hear that was fake. It's manipulation out here too, lots of times, right? So be careful and just don't trust your initial perception. The main thing is not what I see or not what you see and think things are, but how do people see you? Do you see me as a meal ticket? Do you see me as an opportunity to live in a different country? Many who are nice and sincere will still maybe like to experience America sincerely, but they're in love with you for you. There are some like that also. But I would say that the ones who are the hustlers, who want to use you, I think that's, couldn't tell you the proportions, but it's a lot more than the sincere people. Because even the sincere people, sometimes their eyes open up and, oh, I can get this, I can get that. So be careful. Because, like I said, you come out of an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Here's another one, just using the restaurant. And there's a hungry person near you and they see you. They don't know where you're coming from, but they know you're well fed and they gravitate towards you because you look like you're eating good. And we know that when many of us as a people travel, we put on, we bring all these outfits and the jewelry, and for those who wear wigs, they're gonna wear the different wigs, and we're going there to show out and end up not even wearing half the things you brought, you know? I'm gonna just say it like this. I'm not saying it's all white men or calling white men boys, or I'm gonna just talk street way. When the white boys travel, when they come from different countries in Europe and they go to Florida, a lot of them, they have a backpack, they have what they have wearing, they know the weather's warm, they may have one or two changes of a t-shirt and 2 t-shirts, a pair of shorts, other than what they have that can hang up and dry. They ain't spending no money to make no splash like that. They want the experience. They want to walk. You see them, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Scotland. And you in the hood and they're just walking around, They wear what they wear, they hand wash it, hang it up, and wear the next thing. But we have to go and make a splash like we've arrived, and then we show out. We save up all year and then go put ourselves in debt either on credit card or have cash. And so what do you think the perception is of those who don't have it that way and they're seeing these Americans spend this money? And there are many who come here, I'm not saying it's just black women, but just from different places, and you get a chance to feel superior now. You get a chance to feel as though you're in the driver's seat because back in America, it may not be that way. You might be struggling on a job, struggling to pay your bills. I'm not saying this is everybody. I'm not poking fun at anybody. But now you see how the poorer people who are trying to make ends meet will scramble for the little pennies that you share. And it gives you a rush. Now you're not to be subservient. Now you're honored, and you get a chance to see what it's like to be in the driver's seat now. You might be scrubbing toilets in America. I'm just using an extreme case. You might be scrubbing toilets in America. But you come out here with your clothes, and so the sharks out here, they're gonna eyeball you. You're gonna attract them. I got up this morning and I ate half of a watermelon. And my window in my studio was cracked because I closed the window outside, but I opened it and the screen had got pushed back a little bit. So I'm eating the watermelon. Man, where are all these gnats coming from? I had a ball getting rid of them. I just purchased this tennis racket that has the electric webbing in there, and you turn it on and you hit the button and just swipe it. Pop, 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 pop. I was having fun. I thought I was in a video game or something, or I was in Star Wars with a lightsaber, right? But again, be careful. I'm gonna tell another story. I just wanna check to see how much of a battery I have left. Okay, we're good. We're good, all right. This is enough for this story. And I think I told this before, and this is for the American gentleman, right? And it has to be for the American gentleman because women can't give women babies, okay? So, a buddy of mine told me he knows of 3 gentlemen who don't know each other, but in his professional circle, he knows of them. And they come to different countries, not just in the motherland, for professional reasons. They're higher up in their companies, and they go to other countries to teach the employees and supervisors certain things that they have to teach them, so the company will fly them out, get their Airbnb, pay for everything, but they're out there to work. And of course you have your day or 2 off. And if you get all your work done, then you might have 3 days off if you swing it right. Nobody knows. So I'm gonna blend in all of these stories as one, because it's not like I have to call a name, or it's basically the same kind of scam. And what's the scam? Let's just paint the picture, right? So you can see where I'm going with this. One of these brothers come out from America, and he's out here on business. He does his business. Did I see a raindrop? A raindrop is not gonna hit my camera. I hope it was, and not a bird, sending me some greetings. Yeah, it is getting a little cloudy around here. You can't see it, maybe in the background, but the sun is behind the clouds now. But anyway, he does his work, and it's his time off. Yeah, I think that's rain. If it's rain, I'm gonna go inside. Yeah, I'm seeing drops. Let me continue this inside. We don't want to. Okay, family, I didn't want to go inside. I just love being out here, so I took it to the balcony below. I was upstairs now. I'm at my other little spot. And this one is covered by the balcony above. So when rain comes, it may hit me, but it just felt a little drop. I had to push this back, but I'll do that in the middle of the story. We're just gonna roll like this. Anyway, the 3 guys, but I'm joining the story all as one, so you can understand the concept. But the guy on his day off goes to different restaurants, walks around. He's in a different country. Maybe he's been there before and has a favorite situation, but he's enjoying the place. And there are a lot of beautiful, extremely feminine and shapely women here in all age groups, and they take their fitness serious, even though there are some who don't. So they spot him immediately, and they know that this guy's an American. Now he's in a nightclub now, right? He's not dancing, he's not trying to talk to people. He's just there, just observing, taking in the pretty sights. And so there's one woman who's sitting across, well dressed, well built, looks at her outfit, says, oh, she paid some money for that outfit. See, we fall into the same things that other people fall into, right? As far as deception is concerned. But you didn't get these things for free. And so they catch each other's eyes and she smiles. So he feels a rush. I'm in a different country. I'm somewhere else. This is my day off and this beautiful woman is smiling at me. So he motions to her and she comes over to him. And she sits down and they introduce themselves to each other. And they have a wonderful conversation that started out slow, decent. He's intrigued. They continue talking. It's getting later. The club might soon be closing, depending, because you have some clubs here that run real late. And there are restaurants close by, and he says, well, listen, you know, I'd like to take you for a bite to eat. We can continue this conversation because, honestly, I don't want to let this energy go. And she agrees. Nothing indecent or what it appears. So they go to, there's a couple of 24-hour spots in this particular area where the clubs are in Osu that I love to go to. You know, and you see the club goers come out and everything. I'm gonna move this camera back a little more because this rain is coming down and I need to put myself under the balcony upstairs. So, anyway, they're eating slow. They don't want to let the evening go. It's going to be daylight soon. He has the next day off. He feels he can trust her. He's impressed with her. The rain's coming down more. Do I need to move this thing more in? I'll do it. Okay, all right. Here we go. So, nothing's going to hit it now or me. There's a wasp over there now. Come on, man. You know, hater. But anyway, he says to her, he tries to say in a decent way, he's like, I'm respecting you, but I don't feel sleepy and I want to still spend time with you. Why don't you come back with me to my place? And she seems innocent and she hesitates for a while, convincing him that she's a woman who just doesn't do stuff like that. And she says, okay. And they go back, they're on the couch, no sex, but they cuddle. They fall asleep. He loves the feeling. She woke up in a few hours and said she had to go back home to take care of some things, but if he would like, since he's off, she can come back. And he said, sure, I'm off for the next 2 days, so if you come back, don't worry about it. We're gonna eat, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna go here and there. Bring something to wear. We're adults, just bring something to wear. I want you to come spend some time with me. Okay. So she comes back and she cleans up some of the dishes that he had and some of the things, the clothes, they have a washer and dryer there. She cleans all that stuff and he's like, man, this is some kind of woman. She's intelligent, she speaks multiple languages. She drives her own car. Now he's getting worldly now. She drives a nice luxury car and wow. She still plays the role, which is another subject I want to talk about. Is that a spider? No, that's not a spider. Man, I was going to say that's a big spider. How come when you see big spiders, it's always over a door you have to go through? I don't know. Yeah, the rain is coming down, but it's going to be brief. It's just one of those drive-by clouds. So they actually get in the bed. They cuddle. When it's time to go to bed, they kiss, and it all happens. The floodgates are open. This happens. I'm quite sure it's happened in most of our lives. Well, you know, he has his protection. He utilizes it. She stays there a lot. She occasionally has to go. She speaks about some employment that she has over the computer, but he's not paying no mind. She can make her own hours, whatever she told him. She's there a lot. He's there for 3 weeks. After the first week, it was like they were married. And every single night, he's playing in the garden, okay? He's also watering and spraying the garden freely. There were no barriers from his moisture from getting to the root of her womb garden, if you know what I mean. So, in his mind, he's getting diabolical. He's like, this is a good deal here, but I didn't come out here to get married to anybody, but I'm just gonna enjoy this as much as I can. Thinking there's no consequences. But if you keep on watering the garden freely and letting the moisture get deep in the soil, I'm not calling a woman's womb soil, but that's where life comes from. Eventually, you're gonna hit the jackpot. Sperm will hit egg, but he didn't care. And she's giving it to him good. Don't want to get loose. She's putting that extra arch in her back, right? So he knows he has but so many days to be there. He lets her know that when he's leaving, you know. So what he didn't know is that at some point, and this is real, y'all. Again, this is not all women who are over here, but there are some who are slayers. That's the word they call them, slayers. You trust her now. Your wallet's on the side of the bed, the side table next to the bed, excuse me. So he's not sleeping with one eye open now. He's getting what he wants. They're getting along fine. She's playing it perfect. And he's a happy man. So when she gets up to go to the restroom, he doesn't wake up like on guard, like when you're with somebody new and you're like, okay, what are you doing, you know? But she takes his wallet, goes into the bathroom. And he's respectable enough not to just barge in the bathroom, but she locks the door just in case with his wallet. Is she looking to take money? No, she's not that stupid. This is a long-term plan. She pulls out a cell phone and snaps pictures of his driver's license that has his address on there, his work ID that has all the credentials for the job on there, whatever he has of note, even credit cards that she's not looking to use, but it's another form of identification. Everything crucial in this man's wallet, she has a photo of. There's cash there. She's not touching it. She has the cash there. She comes out of the bathroom. She even lays in the bed next to him until his breathing goes back normal, because she woke him up a little bit when she sat back in the bed. And then she placed the wallet on the night table. Nothing taken out of there except photos. Why? Well, he promises to come back for her. He promises that he'll have her come to America. She's so happy. But she wants more than that. And the die is already cast. The doom has already been set. And what is that? Well, he left. And in his mind, man, it was good, but man, go back to America. I had some free fun. I just got it all. So he's at his job. 10 months later, 11 months later, and he gets some paperwork. He served some papers. And it has a long African name on it. I don't know this name. Who is this? To take a test to see if I'm the father? I don't know this chick with this name. I dealt with about 5 or 6 chicks since my Africa trip, but they didn't have a name like this. And the one in Africa, she said her name was Betty. Well, don't you know you have the tribal name, the African name, and many will have what they call the Christian name, and it will be an American name, right? I guess you'll use that name so it looks good on paper when you do try to go to America. I don't know. Well, this long name, Anofalaku, Ngogo, whatever. I'm making fun. But it's the woman that he laid up with and sprayed the garden for those 3 weeks. Well, how did she get to me and know where I work and be able to, she's not from here. So did she fly here and find me and put these, I have a child with her? Oh, bro, you've been spraying the garden. What you think? You go, you take the test, and you are the father, but you can't figure out how she got you. Because you shouldn't have been doing that anyway, brother, seriously. Because if she had something, HIV, I'm not saying everybody out here has that, but anytime I see a pregnancy, then you did something unprotected, and if it's not the person that you're committed to, you could have got something else. Well, guess what? He didn't know it, but that's the reason why she took pictures of all of his IDs. She never left the motherland. She went down to the American embassy. This is why you, as a man from America or the UK or anywhere else, you are a target. They will give you the cookies all you want. Arch the back, on the knees, doing this, every orifice. And they're looking at you like, yeah, fool, hit the jackpot. So they go to the American embassy and they say, listen, I have information here. I believe this child is from this man. And if you're at the American embassy, guess what? You're on American soil. You're just as much on American soil as if you were standing in New Jersey, California, Atlanta, wherever. And now you're ordered to pay this woman this amount of money, which is not going to be in your favor, and she's living in a country where the money stretches more. And what you don't realize is that this is her job, that particular woman. And there's some like that, so be careful. But that's her job. Because where she comes from outside of Accra, her family lives up in the mountains. Very humble existence, nothing extravagant, but money really stretches. And those other 5 little children running around, their fathers are paying child support. And her mother and aunt and grandmother don't mind being a professional daycare center for them because they're getting paid. This is part of it. So she can afford the luxury car, the nice clothes. She paid attention to school so she could wing it as far as the languages and different things. And you think you spraying up in something that you can get over on. And they got you. So be careful. They have a thing called Dedi December, which has already started. It's a month-long festival celebration here in Ghana. Let me tell you something. Brothers, be careful. The mini skirts out here are going to be popping to catch your eye. And they're going to be smiling at you. And you're going to be like Ralph crammed it on the honeymooners. Hamada, 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 hamada. So be careful. Ladies, these guys will put it down to you. They will long stroke you into senselessness, into utter bliss. You will find yourself on the brink of ecstasy as they promise you all of this stuff. And, or they would love to knock you up because they have a connection, but they want that connection. And you just have to be careful how you are perceived. How long have I been talking here? Okay, I think it's a little over an hour. I'm going to confirm with Brother Neil Frazier if it is tonight that I had to cancel last night because I went far away to take care of some business and couldn't get back in time to do the show. I think we're going to do it tonight. Just want to check it. I didn't drink enough liquid. My throat is thirsty. I know I was going to be long-winded in this one, but I'm going to wrap it down. And the rain stopped. I hate to be in the dark videotaping, so you know what? Let me bring this back out here. Let me bring it back out here. The sun might come back out too. Oh yeah, the sun, still cloudy over there, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you for listening. I really, really want to hear your comments on this one. And if you didn't understand any part of it, I'll do another video to explain it in depth. I want to go in on human nature with surgical precision, not just sensationalistic stuff about who screwed who in Hollywood or whatever, but just human nature, how we relate, and perceptions and misperceptions. I have a whole lot of experiences in life, maybe not more than the next person, but I had my fair share and I have no problem sharing it. And maybe I'll do a video on this same topic and things might change. But from what I see, no. You know, people can be honest and open and pure, and sometimes they can be snakes. And they will formulate a persona and a visage that fits everything that you want. And like we talk about the gift of discernment in spiritual warfare, well, people who have wayward intentions, they too can have a great gift of discernment and figure you out and morph themselves into what you want and get you that way. See, every lock has a key. Even if you don't have the key, every key is not going to open that lock, but there's that one key that will. And with these people who can present themselves so perfectly, are they formulating a key to open your lock? Who knows? Anyway, let me hear from you. It's been very enjoyable. I like these long, pouring out my soul type discussions, and I'm going to come back with something inside later on while I do my other computer work that's recorded. Oh yes, there's the sun. Before we end it out, here's the sun back again. That's to show you that no matter what you're going through, even if you don't see the sun is still there, and it has rays for you, even if it's been a while that it's been hiding behind the clouds. On that note, I want to say salute to my brothers, much love to my precious sisters. Let's get down and have some meaningful conversation as opposed to the foolishness that's often put out on social media that brings our vibration down and clogs our brains and influences us to do some decadent things. We got to be careful. Anyway, much love to you all. Take care. On to the next one. So long.